Alicia Warmwold was making a good living as a graphic artist before COVID-19 hit. Now she and her partner John, who are both hearing impaired, are out of work and more than $700 a week worse off, even with the JobKeeper payment.
If we were to pay the full rent now, it would be extremely difficult and we would have to make sacrifices on other things that we need to buy.
Like tens of thousands of tenants across the country, the couple wrote to their real estate agent back in March, seeking rent relief for 6 months. Their landlord replied with an offer of $40 a week discount for only 3 months.
It hasn't made a very significant difference. We're still struggling to pay bills. We fell behind in paying rents. I believe that if it weren't for the moratorium, we would be evicted by now, 100%.
State and territories will be moving to put a moratorium on evictions of persons as a result of financial distress if they are unable to meet their commitments.
Nationally, there's been a 6-month eviction moratorium in place since March for tenants who have lost income due to COVID-19. Protections differ state to state, but ultimately, come September, when the deal runs out, many renters will be left exposed.
It's probably likely to be more pronounced in the larger cities, particularly Melbourne and Sydney. So it's likely to be a large number of people that will be evicted.
So not only have people lost their incomes almost entirely and their means to be able to rent a home, but they're also having the prospect of losing their home entirely looming over their head come September.
Organisers of the newly formed Renters and Housing Union say government measures haven't prevented some real estate agents from threatening to evict.
It's incredibly concerning, the power dynamic between renters, real estate agents and landlords.
It feels like a very intimidating and scary situation to be in.
Michelle Buckle has received 2 notices to vacate from her real estate agent since March.
It's very stressful because the government have said that we are supposed to be safe during this time, that we can't get evicted and that we're supposed to, be able to negotiate a rent reduction with our agents and with our landlords, but they have not been interested in that at all.
The actor and singer, whose immune system is compromised, hasn't worked in months. And even though Michelle receives the disability support pension, her income has halved during lockdown.
I would be happy to negotiate with the agency to get a reduction on rent. I obviously don't want to be financially putting anyone else out, but yeah, it kind of feels like you're being put in an impossible situation and then told it's your fault.
Emails and documents obtained by 7:30 also reveal how some real estate agents have been pressuring tenants into rent deferral rather than negotiating a genuine reduction.
A lot of renters have been stung potentially with huge debt, racking up that they'll be faced with in September, and the prospect of not being employed during that time either.
Many landlords say they're also facing financial hardship and aren't being heard.
The vast majority of landlords are compassionate people and do care. They want to help where they can. However, they in turn are not receiving assistance, so that hinders what they can do as well. I do think it is fair for landlords to say, I am deferring a portion of your rent and entering into a payback later on. The landlord shouldn't be out of pocket, just as the tenant shouldn't be out of pocket.
The problem is that many of our property owners have also lost employment. Now, whilst they've been able to hit the pause button on their mortgages, That can't go on forever. So the tenants can't not pay rent forever. This is going to have to be managed, and some form of rental assistance for those tenants is going to be required.
A coalition of 70 organisations, including tenant unions, today wrote to the National Cabinet calling for rental protections to be urgently extended.
Our real fear is that once the moratorium is lifted, that we will be evicted 100% because we've been behind consistently since COVID has struck, and we're still trying to play catch up on our rent. So they will boot us out.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.